Iram students, welcome back. Today we are in the fifth part of chapter 8, How Seasons Occur, part 2. Fine. So with this part we'll be completing our this lesson. So we have learned so many things in this lesson. And for today, what are we going to learn? Yes, we are going to learn. See, the lesson is about how seasons occur. Fine. So in this last part, we'll see how these seasons are taking place and on what basis and like what are the reasons for these seasons to take place. Let's see. Seasons have been decided on the basis of the duration of sunlight, equinoxes, and solstices. So over here we already know the two equinoxes, we already know the two solstices. So based on this, yes, based on these things, the duration of the sunlight, the equinoxes, and solstices, seasons have been decided. The equatorial region does not experience any change of season. We know the equatorial region, the region near the equator. So this region does not have any change in their season. They have, hence the climate in that region does not change at all in the year. So we can see over here. Okay, so the climate in the equatorial region does not change at all in the year. It remains the same all throughout the year. But in places beyond the equatorial region, in either hemispheres, summers and winters are experienced one after the other within a year. Means in the regions beyond the equatorial region, that is in both the hemispheres, either hemispheres means in the northern hemisphere as well as the southern hemisphere, two seasons, that is summers and winters, are experienced one after another within a year. Means summer comes, then they have the winter, after winter again they have the summer. So this it take turns, the summers and the winters one after the another, they occur, they take place. And where do they take place? They take place in regions beyond the equatorial region in either hemispheres, that is in both the hemispheres. So, this occurrence of seasons one after the other in a year leads to a cycle of seasons. Yes, so this occurrence, this the taking place of seasons one after the other in a year leads to a cycle of seasons. Yes, like for example, in India, we have the summer season, we have the monsoon, then we have the retreating monsoon, and then we have the winter. Yes, so it takes again after winter, we have the summer, the monsoon, the retreating monsoons, winter. So it takes place one after the other. So it leads to a cycle of seasons, isn't it? So seasons which are based the basis or decided on the basis of duration of sunlight, equinoxes, and solstices. Equatorial region there does not experience any change of seasons, but in regions beyond the equatorial regions in both the hemispheres, they have some experience summer and winter after another, one after the other within a year. And this change in seasons, this occurrence of seasons one after the other in the year leads to a cycle of seasons. I hope this is clear to you, children. Now let's go ahead. Generally, there are two seasons, summer and winter on the earth. But in some places, seasons are taken to be four in all. Yes. So generally there are two seasons. We have the summer and the winter, but some places there are four seasons, some places there are three seasons. So it depends upon the different criteria which we have learned. Okay. Now let's see over here. The changes in the atmosphere, vapor in the air, the wind, and the precipitation also influence the seasons. Okay. So over here we have the changes in the atmosphere, the vapor, air, wind, and precipitation. They also influence the seasons. The changes in the atmosphere, vapor in the air, vapor in the air, wind, and precipitation. These also influence the seasons. Fine. Continuous occurrence of rain in a specific period gives rise to an additional season besides summer and winter. Like in India, we have rains from the month of June, basically from the month of June to September. Okay, so every year in that specific period we have rainfall. So we have the monsoon season over here, isn't it? So continuous occurrence of rain in a specific period gives rise to an additional season besides summer and winter. Due to the local conditions, seasons other than summer and winter are seen to occur in different parts. Okay, so because of the local conditions also over there, seasons other than summer and winter are seen in different parts. Now, see, for example, they have given a view of India. Rains occur in India in a specific period. Therefore, we consider four seasons, such as summer, the rainy season, the period of the retreating monsoon, and winter. So there are four seasons. Okay, we learned there are four seasons in India, which is the summer. Yes, which is the summer, the rainy season, the period of the retreating monsoon, and winter. So these four seasons we have based because of the uh, rain occurring in India in a specific period. Fine. Now there are four seasons in Europe and North America too. So what seasons they have? They have summer, autumn, winter, and spring. Okay, so in Europe and North America, because of the climatic conditions over there, they have four seasons. They have the summer, they have the autumn, the winter, and the spring. Fine. Let's go ahead. The cycle of seasons and the living world. How does this cycle of season has an impact, influences the living world? Yes. Now, we all know that the Earth's axis is tilted. Imagine if the Earth's axis were not tilted, the same climatic conditions would have prevailed throughout the year. Like in the equatorial region, the same climatic condition is there throughout the year, but because as you go towards the north pole, as you go from 0 degrees to other degrees upper towards the northern hemisphere and even towards the southern hemisphere, the season changes. The type of seasons they have is different from the equatorial region. Yes, so why is it? Because it of the tilted axis of the earth. So if the axis of the earth was not tilted, the same climatic conditions would have prevailed throughout the years, and seasons would not have occurred. Yes, so one and the same type of climatic conditions would have prevailed on each of the different parallels. So the same climatic condition would have prevailed on each of the different parallels. So it is the tilt of the axis that leads to occurrence of seasons, change, and diversity of the earth. So because of the same reason, because of the tilted axis of the earth, we have the summer, the winter, the rainy season, spring, autumn, and all this leads to the diversity on the change and diversity on the earth. So because of these climatic conditions, the changes in the climatic conditions, the cycle of season which is there, we have so much of diversity over here on our planet. The living world on the earth is affected by the cycle of seasons. Yes, so for example, in the region between 66 degrees and 30 minutes and 90 degrees in both the hemispheres, even the mild sunlight available for a part of the year gives rise to certain flora and fauna. So this is the region which we are talking where it is the towards the polar regions. Yes, so over there, as we all know that they have 6 months of uh, 24 hours daylights they have, and whereas for the remaining 6 months it is night over there. So in these parallels, between these parallels in both the hemispheres, even the mild sunlight, okay, available for a part of the year gives rise to flora and fauna. Flora means the plants and fauna means the animals over there, isn't it? So all this is possible because of the tilt of the axis of the earth, which leads to different seasons. Okay, in the Antarctic region, at the southernmost part of the earth, birds like penguins, fish like seal, and animals like walruses are found. In the polar region of the northern hemispheres, animals like reindeer, polar bears, Arctic foxes, etc. are found. People living in this region too have adapted to the natural conditions prevailing in that region. Our adaptation to climatic conditions is possible only up to a certain limit. That is why organisms prefer a certain habitat. During extreme cold climatic conditions, when the food supply becomes scarce, a number of birds and animals migrate temporarily. Trees bear fruit in a particular season. Therefore, agricultural seasons also depend on to the local climatic conditions. In polar areas, snow line shifts north or south according to the seasons. This affects migration of birds and animals. Okay, now let's see what does this mean. Okay, so in the Antarctic region, that is towards the South Pole, yes, the southernmost part of the Earth, birds like penguins, fish like seal, and animals like walruses are found. So you will find these animals only in the at the South Pole, whereas in the at the North Pole, that is the polar region in the northern hemisphere, you will find animals like reindeers, polar bears, Arctic foxes, okay, etc. And they are found. So you find polar bears, which we all know, they look so cute. Yes, and we find polar bears in the North Pole, and penguins we find them in the South Pole. And people living in these regions also, yes, whether it be North Pole or the South Pole, they too have adapted to the natural conditions prevailing in that regions. In staying there over for a long period of time, they have been used to the climatic condition over there. So our adaptations to climatic conditions is possible only up to a certain limit. So that is why organisms prefer a certain habitat. For example, when it is extremely cold in certain regions and when food becomes scarce, animals and birds, okay, birds and animals from that place temporarily, on a temporary basis, they leave that place and go to a warmer place, yes, where they can find food, okay, and where the climate is suitable for them to sustain. So that is happens when the animals and birds, they cannot live in those extreme cold climatic conditions. So they, for in search of food and also for a better place to live in, for a temporary on a temporary basis, they migrate from one place to another. Okay, so trees also bear fruit for a particular season. Therefore, agricultural seasons also depend on the local climatic conditions. In polar areas, snow line shifts north or south according to seasons. This affects migration of birds and animals. So trees bear, we all know, learned that animals and birds, they migrate temporarily from cold climatic conditions to a warmer place, and even trees bear fruit in a particular season. Yes. Now, for example, if you take the fruit of mango, yes, you will these trees will bear the fruits in the when the climate becomes warmer. Yes, during the month of April and May, you get these sweet fruits to eat. You will not get those fruits to eat in the rainy seasons or even in the winter seasons, because it requires a particular season to bear the fruit. Yes, isn't it? So that is because of the climate prevailing over there. Okay, so similarly, agricultural seasons also depend on to the local climatic conditions. And in polar areas, snow line shifts north or south according to seasons. Yes. So what is snow line? Okay, so what is snow line? Snow line means, when snow falls, so the altitude in a particular place, above which some snow remains on the ground throughout the year. Yes, so even in the summer season, some snow is visible on the ground. So the altitude in a particular place above which, altitude means the height in a particular place above which the snow remains on the ground throughout the year. So that snow line shifts north or south according to the seasons, means either towards the northern hemisphere or towards the southern hemisphere. So this depends according to the seasons, and this also affects the migration of birds and animals. Yes, so many things, so many criteria are there way of this change of seasons, which has an effect on the living world. Okay, so with this we finish our lesson. I hope you have understood all this, children. So this, my one example of migration I can give you is about the flamingos. Okay, so in the warm, you can see so many flamingos, the pink color beautiful birds coming in towards the Thane Creek. You can find them in big numbers coming to Mumbai also. So they come from a cool place, a extreme cold place, to Mumbai, which is comparatively warmer, to for a temporary period of time. So that migration, again they fly back to their own place. Yes, so this climatic conditions has an effect, affects the life, the routine of all the living world, not only animals and birds, even human beings. Now, for example, during this winter season, since it's cold, a lot of energy we is consumed from our body, calories consumed, so we feel hungry hungry much in during the winter season as compared to the summer season and the rainy season. So even the food which we take also changes to according to the climate as well. So in the rainy seasons also, you prefer having home cooked food because of you can get a bad stomach also because of it. So so many things are there on the because of the climate, which affects the living world, the animals, the birds, and even the humans. I hope this is clear to you, children. So with this we complete our lesson number 8, how seasons occur, part 2. So till then, stay safe, have a good day, children. Sai Ram.